Blake Cousins. Welcome back, everybody. We're live, Third Phase of the Moon. Taking calls from around the world. The number to call in, 347-934-0378. What's going on in Brazil? Recently, a mysterious disappearance of a UFO enthusiast. It's making the rounds on the internet right now. And apparently, this young man named Bruno Borges, he left behind coded writings of bizarre photos of extraterrestrials on the internet, and he posted it up. He captured this apparently while he was inside a strange place. He captured this stuff with his mobile camera, and this is how the story goes down. He's convinced that the men in black or the aliens, they were after him, and then apparently he suddenly disappeared without a trace. The family said that for the first time, Bruno disappears without any kind of communication, and they state that his son did not take anything as he was leaving their home when they last saw him. And wow, so what's going on? What did he capture on this video? Is the men in black really abducting people right now? This family's saying that his son is a victim of this whole situation after he captured some strange pentagram symbols, cryptic writings. What's this all about? What's the information they don't want you to know? You just never know about some of these stories you read on the internet, but I thought that was quite interesting. He's a UFO enthusiast gone missing. What was he onto? You just never know when it comes down to whistleblowers and declassified information, classified information. We don't care. We want it all. Give us classified information. It's freedom of speech still. Right here in the United States of America, they're working on suppression, it seems like. I don't know what's going on. Germany and I guess the UK's dropped all kinds of advertising going on YouTube because of this free speech problem on YouTube right now. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to get worked out, but we want to get the word out in regards to the UFO phenomenon. That's what we do right here at Third Phase Moon. So I want to get your calls. Press number 1 on your touchpad, keypad, phone pad, whatever you're calling in on. Press number 1 to get straight to the top of the call list if you got something you want to share tonight. Let's get to it. We got a lot of videos that just came into Third Phase of Moon as well in regards to an Antarctic discovery of something that looks quite out of place, I would have to say. Doesn't make sense while it's up there. But let's get to the callers. They want to talk tonight. This is good. 978, you made it to Third Phase of Moon. Welcome to the show.
Hey. How you doing?
Oh, doing great. You got something you want to share to the world? Where are you calling in from? What do you got to share? Let's hear it.
Yeah, I'm calling from Massachusetts. I already talked to you once in the past. I was abducted at 10 years old. And,
okay, so you were abducted at 10 years old. This is
before, yes.
It's quite common. Young people, children, are abducted at an early age. It's quite common. When and where? What did you see? How did you know you're abducted? Did you tell anybody about it?
No. I didn't know what's going on at the time. It's been, yeah.
Okay. Well, I asked a question. I wanted to get an answer. We have time. We want to hear details about alien abductions. What did they look like? When did this happen?
Same thing you've seen. Right, big eyes.
Okay. I'm having a hard time hearing the caller, unfortunately. We'll move along. Got to make room for callers. So I want to share a concise, clear story from beginning to end. That's why we tune in. We want to get good information. 740, you're live. How you doing?
Yeah. I'm here, Blake. What's going on with you, brother?
Oh, man, just trying to get some good information.
Okay.
So, well,
Okay.
What,
Now,
have you had a
listen.
UFO sighting recently? What's going on? What's on your mind?
Nah, I ain't have nothing recently, but I want to talk about this Trump madness. What's going on with that? I want to hear your insights on that.
Well, you know, that's a controversial subject matter right now, and I'm not really getting into what is going on with the madness per se of what you are. We want to talk about UFOs and extraterrestrials, that kind of thing. Let's get to callers. Let's go to area code 405. You made it to the show. How you doing?
Hello?
Yep. Yeah, we got you. How you doing? Where are you calling in from? You got some?
Oklahoma
What's
City.
that? Okay,
Oklahoma
great.
City.
Welcome.
Yeah. How are you? This is our first time that my friend is on, and she had a really amazing story to tell you all about UFOs and also the corruption of DHS.
Okay, what do you mean? What kind of corruption over there in Oklahoma?
Ree, go ahead, talk to him.
Well, we're talking about Child Protective Services selling these children off for sex trafficking.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Third Phase of Moon is a place to share UFO stories, people. Getting quite strange on some of the dialogue going on today. People just really want to get into it. Oh, well. Okay, let's try this. I hope area code 559, you got a question or a statement you want to say tonight? You're live.
Hello?
Yeah, how you doing tonight? Welcome to the show.
Yeah. You can hear me?
Yeah, of course. I got you, man. I said, how you doing?
Oh, well, it's the first time I haven't called. I've never did nothing. I'm 50-something years old. I actually left you guys a message for you to get back with me. Yeah, I've been abducted since I was 3, but I wanted to tell you I had an encounter in 1988 that was out of this world. What happened was I'd been around trying to wake people up to the sense of what was going on and being made fun of and stuff. Well, we had went to the drive-in, me, my girlfriend, and her little brother, and we were watching the movie They Live in Alienation, and I was kind of telling them how the movie related They Live to be able to the perception. I've heard this voice, which it's a female voice my whole life, and it's, I guess, a girl told me before she had encountered it before, and it was something to do with a queen. Now, when this voice told me, because they were mocking me, my girlfriend and her little brother, and I said, I heard this voice tell me they're going to see something. So we left the drive-in about 1 o'clock, and as we went home, all this fog came out. And as we were driving, this voice was telling me where to go. And as we got to the point where it was getting ready to happen, we saw this ship come out across the road. It was probably a good 80 feet in the air. It looked like a bus, but bigger, more like a Chinook helicopter, but without the blades. It had rows of windows, and it was skipping, like it was going real slow, but like it was riding on gravity waves. Well, I stopped the car, and we got out. She's screaming because this thing's landing. She's scared to death. She's never seen nothing like this thing. So it lands in the field, and the next thing I know, it takes off. Well, my brother-in-law, who's 12 at the time, he remembers us being taken aboard. I don't remember that. But now this is the weird part. We get back inside the car. We're tripping out. We're talking about this fantastic experience, seeing this thing up close, this huge ship. Well, as we're leaving, no more than 4 minutes later, headlights are in my rearview mirror, and I mean they're bright. They're right up on us. It turns out there's a diesel behind us. And we're in the back roads. It takes if you're doing about 65, 70 miles an hour, you can get home to my house in 15, 20 minutes. Well, as it's coming behind me, it's getting close, and I'm thinking, maybe he wants to pass. So I'm going to let this thing pass. He puts on his blinker to pass, and as he's passing, he gets right beside me, and I'm looking because there's fog. And as the lights of this diesel's hitting the fog, if you've ever been behind a diesel, you'll know it kind of breaks the fog. Well, I'm looking at this thing, and it's all black, a little bit of chrome. The windows are tinted black. It's all black. And then it backs off. It gets back behind me again. It backs off. It starts honking its horn. It starts coming up, sort of like the movie Jeepers Creepers, how he was trying to ram them back and forth. And anyways, this thing was chasing us, and I was getting up speeds. I was in a 74 Camaro, high-performance Camaro, and I was doing up to 90 miles an hour trying to get away from this thing. It was chasing us all through the back roads. Well, as it was getting up close, it started putting on its emergency blinkers. And my girlfriend looks at me and she goes, something's wrong. Pull over. Why would it have its emergency blinkers on? Well, all my hair was standing up. I didn't want to pull over. Well, as I sped up, it came up like it wanted to pass again, so I was going to let it pass. As soon as it got beside me, it started, staying right beside me. Then it backed off, kept doing that. Well, it chased us all the way into my hometown, and as I was coming into the place to turn, some cars were coming, so I couldn't make a left-hand turn, and this thing was flying. It was coming. It was right on my butt. It looked like it was going to hit us. Well, as it came behind us, it swerved so it didn't hit us, but it was only inches. You could reach out and touch this thing. My whole car rocked, and then it flew down the highway. But the weird part about it is this thing, as I was making turns like 30 miles an hour trying to make turns to get away from this thing would stay behind me. It couldn't have made a 90-degree turn at that speed. It would have had to gear down and gear up and all that. Well, this thing chased us all the way. As it passed, my girlfriend, out of the blue, turned and looked at me. She said that was a warning. Well, the next day I got a call from my best friend, and he said, I had this weird dream about you. So I went to his house. He described 100% of what happened that night, and he described them putting me in the back of this diesel, these men in black. And the thing about it is, what was done to me actually happened in the Matrix years later. And this thing started with me since I was 3 years old when I saw Little Man. I mean, I've seen things left and right. Family have seen things with me. We had a shapeshifter show up to our house. A 4-year-old little girl knew what it was freaked out about it. The thing at the time that they were wanting me to shut my mouth is because I was telling people that in the sense of what I knew what was going on with my disappearances and people looking for me for a couple hours and all these things. I mean, I've had encounters left and right. I've had encounters with these ones that looked, they're orange color, and then I had an encounter with the grays. But the grays, a lot of the grays, they're what you would call an avatar. I was saying that for years, telling people they are bodysuits, that the real beings controlling these, you don't see them. They're actually using them as avatars. And I was going around warning people and I was meeting with MUFON and different groups, and they were wanting to take an implant out of my arm, but I'd get real scared. I couldn't do it, And I've seen things my whole life, and back in the 80s, I came out of at the same time David Icke. I had fully awoke. And the thing with the diesel incidents, these guys, my friend described them. I didn't see them, but the chase lasted, I'd say, as fast as we were going, we should have arrived home in time, but we were 3 hours late. So somewhere in between that time, something did happen. And my whole life I've been trying to tell people that, you can't go around like the Christians and say they're demons, because even in their own Bible it speaks about slandering celestial beings, and nobody brings that up. They keep saying...
Sure. I could understand that. But, yeah, people got a lot of questions. What are these extraterrestrials? Whatever you're chasing or being chased by, that's wild. That's a wild sighting that you had. It sounds like it could be some kind of cryptic hybrid, or some people say it's the Mothman, but whatever it was, is your girlfriend still with you right now? Can we speak with her about this?
She's a nurse and she's at work. But yeah, we've been together a long time, and she was a non-believer. She would make fun of me, but then she started seeing more stuff. I mean, I've seen with my brother-in-law, we were outside. We saw these guys with huge wings. They were up kind of in the sky, first, because we live in California, so we thought they were buzzards incoming. You know, they fly together. Well, as they flew overhead, there was a ship, but it didn't look like a ship. It was round and it was brown, but it looked like it was in between this world and that. It was shimmering. And these guys were flying side by side, and they had wings. And I'd say if they were on the ground, they were probably at least 15 feet tall and a wingspan of at least 15 feet, 12 feet. I mean, they were huge. And they were flying side by side, and they went into this thing without, you know, how they just kind of merged with it. And this thing with the diesel, I've also had been taken in my life, and I tell my mom when I was little that I was being taken, and then
Wow, it sounds like we could write a book about you, sir. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I like information, but we got to stick to just little stories at a time, because if we go all over the place, then we're kind of losing our sense of direction where we want to go with this. But wow, what an incredible call. Appreciate you calling in. Get your girlfriend on. We want to hear about that incredible car chase again, but from her mouth. Everybody, stand by. Third Phase Moon, Blake Cousins. We'll be right back. A lot of callers tonight. Blake Cousins. We're back. We're live, taking calls from around the world. Let's do it. Let's go to area code 7404. 740. You there?
Hello?
I was going to 707. That's 707. You there?
Hello. Hello.
Well, yeah, I got you. How you doing? Welcome to the show. What's going
on? I want to tell you about something that happened back in 1999. Oh,
wow. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
I had gotten a heads up on a prophecy that there was going to be a visual space battle that we could see from Earth on December 23rd in 1999. And so I live in our Arcata, where I was living in Arcata then. And the prophecy was saying that it would happen right at 4 o'clock in the morning. And, you know, it's really foggy here on the coast a lot. And so, but that night it was really clear. It was a full moon. And I had a little party, and I tried to convince all my friends to stay up so we could see it. But they all went to bed because they couldn't stay up that late. And so I was outside, and there was a spiral energy beam that was fired over on the eastern horizon where Venus was, and it zoomed at the speed of light right across past the moon and on the way out to, I think it was Jupiter or Saturn. There was, one of the gas giants out on the horizon. And it was really this amazing thing because the comet that had come through earlier in the year, it was this big massive comet that had the purple shaft of light coming off it and everything. Do you remember that?
Was it the Halley's Comet or Hale-Bopp?
Right now I just can't really remember the name of it. It was a big old comet, filled up, about a third of the sky. Earlier in the year, I think it was like in August and September, it was, passing through. And the astronomers kind of kept it secret that actually it was 6 celestial bodies. They were all kind of rotating and around each other as it, it was this big, huge thing. Some of these things were bigger than the moon. And it was hiding like some kind of spaceship in it. It was like a stealth sort of a thing where it would like be hiding behind, so you couldn't really see it. And then that year,
well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you if when you're looking at this stuff and where you wanted to look at some kind of celestial event, it sounds like you got more than you bargained for, which is really cool. Usually when this UFO activity happens and people witness this, they're out there for a reason, looking up in the sky at night. So that's a good reason why you saw this event. It's just because you're looking up there, and it was, it happens all the time. People witness UFOs all the time. What makes you think that this wasn't some kind of just a, Chinese lantern possibly, or a satellite?
No way, because this thing was huge in the sky. It must have been maybe 50,000 miles wide. It was a spiral part of it, and this energy beam, was a, I don't, do you believe in the Space Brothers?
Well, the Space Brothers and the Star People, and that's a lot of that's based on faith. I got to see it to believe it, but I really do appreciate people's stories. And what you saw was an incredible story, an incredible sighting. So, wow, appreciate you calling in. That's for sure. Where were you going with the Star Brothers?
Well, you see, this was all, I don't know, there's, I don't want to wander around a whole lot, but there was this spaceship that was hiding inside the comet or behind it. It was on the NASA Solar Max satellite, where they could see that it deaccelerated and went into a little orbit around the sun, to slow down, and it was heading for the Earth. And it was not very friendly aliens, from out in the Kuiper Belt, I
there
guess.
is, sure. So we're talking about Hale-Bopp. Let's see. Hale-Bopp was 1997, and there was this religious group that claimed that there was some kind of spaceship within the tail of the comet of Hale-Bopp. And, you look it up, you can find the story of where that goes. And it's not it's a pretty dark path. It's a dark path. You never know. You never know what's hiding in the tails of comets. Could there be extraterrestrial craft in there? Yeah. But you got to keep an open mind on some of this stuff. But this caller, I believe what he saw. That's for sure. Thanks for calling in. Let's get some more callers right now. We only got a few. We got about 30 minutes, so I want to bring in as many as possible. 281. Thanks for calling in. You're live.
Yeah, this is me. Hey, how you doing, Blake?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Who's me?
It's Slow-O. Slow-O.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing good. You got something you want to share tonight? Go ahead.
No, I was just like you want to kind of know, and I've been interested in the UFO for a good while back, ever since I was a little kid. I remember the first show was like Chariots of the Gods. And I remember it as little kids, and we were all fascinated. That's the first time I ever see UFOs like on TV and kind of know what to look for.
Wow.
And,
did you see our recent upload with Eric Von Doniken's new updated Chariots of the Gods that we put up on our third? You got to check it out. It's a quite incredible presentation, and it's pretty high tech.
Oh wow! All right. But anyway, it's just like you gotta have to. People just need to connect the points and everything. And every year, I always read something or get fascinated, because we all kind of get fascinated by these things. And I remember one time I was reading the newspaper, Galveston newspaper, and they were saying something that there was no no UFO over there by Moses Lake. It was a night heron. Well, I guess back then that was like 9 years ago.
Yeah. Sometimes people put out stuff in the news that is misidentified all the time, but yeah, Chariots of the Gods. Check it out. Hey, I don't know if you're checking out our Third Phase of Moon channel, because you should have seen that stuff, and you'll learn a lot of news on our Third Phase of Moon channel via the public. Thanks for calling in. Let's get to some more callers right now. We're going to bring in area code 540. You made it to Third Phase of Moon.
Hey, how's it going, Blake? Can you hear me?
Oh, doing good. Got you loud and clear. Hey, thanks for calling in. Where are you calling in from? Hey, and, you got something you want to share? Go for it.
I'm calling in from Virginia. I called you here a while back about the Antarctica issue.
Absolutely.
I called you. Yeah.
Sure. Anything new?
Well, I saw your video that you posted online about the you and your brother was talking about it. I saw it on YouTube. That was very interesting, but I didn't call into the show tonight because of that. I got a couple of things I want to bring up. I was surfing the web about a week ago, and I found something that you guys might be interested in, and I shared one of the articles on you guys' Facebook page about the underwater global wall or some sort. And I also found out, too, that there is a unidentified, some people want to call it a meteor or some people want to call it an asteroid, but there's an unidentified object heading towards Earth. Do you know anything about that, or can you confirm that?
Well, there's always something unidentified coming towards Earth, but nothing major, in my opinion, that I've heard through the chat lines, that anything that we got to worry about. But, well, it will happen. It's going to happen.
Well, supposedly NASA had came out and basically stated that there is an object of how did they put it? They don't know where it originated from. That's headed towards us, and it's supposed to make a really close flyby sometime this month. They didn't really say when, and they can't determine natural in nature or if it's something else, because the way that they put it was that the scientists put it was that it slows down, it speeds up, and then it changes direction. And then it goes another direction. So I didn't know if you guys had any heads up about that or not. But the video that you guys
sure.
The video that you guys posted about the video that you guys posted about the Antarctica thing. Like I said, I saw it, and I saw you and your I saw the episode where you and your brother was talking about it. I looked at it a little bit closer. If you notice in the video, right below where the stairway comes down and wraps around, it almost looks like a UFO that's sitting there just hovering. I don't know if y'all noticed that.
That's a great question. That's Brent was noticing the exact same thing. He did say there was a flying saucer kind of shaped craft right there on Google imagery, Google Earth, over the Antarctic. And I think we might have the caller in who discovered this. He goes by the name of Hypnotech. I'm not sure if we got Hypnotech on, but let's bring 808 in and bring in the discovery of that Antarctic image, that weird image. You there?
Yeah, hey, Blake, this is Hypnotech. How you doing?
Well, doing good. Hey, thanks for joining us again. We shared your discovery on third phase of moon, and a day later or so, it's almost up to about 100,000 people about to view this discovery, and it's quite amazing. What's the feedback over the past 24 hours of sharing your discovery? Go ahead.
The feedback is pretty much half and half. One thing I would say to anybody that is looking at this type of stuff is you've got to put aside your belief systems. Belief systems are going to stop anybody from seeing the truth. And what I saw from a lot of people's reaction is just flat out, I don't believe you, Blake, or this is bull, immediately, without probably even looking at the whole video or even doing research for themselves. I encourage people to go to Google Earth. I did some responses on the comments with the coordinates all over the place. So there's no reason why people can't go there for themselves, look at it from all kinds of different angles. And people need to know they got to look at it from different angles. You got to find the angle that was taken from the satellite itself to get the most proper view. If you're looking at it from an opposite view, it's all distorted. You're not going to get a proper view of it.
Well, what's interesting too is you're exactly right. People are saying this is fake. It's not there, and you didn't even give me. I wasn't able to copy paste the coordinates. It was a little tricky, but I wanted to get your discovery out as fast as possible. But if you just do a little homework and open up Google Earth, you could see on how we zoom into that exact spot, so you could find it for yourself, and that was quite interesting.
Yep.
What about this? Were you out there on your own, or was my speculation correct, or what have you? Because I know we posted something very close to your discovery. We didn't see what you discovered, but just within that same extinct volcano,
I
we
did
found
see
that
video.
other anomaly.
Yes, I saw that video. That was a couple months ago, probably 3 or 4 months ago, actually, that I saw that one. And I didn't actually, I think it was probably a couple weeks after I saw that, I went on Google Earth myself, started looking around. And I zoomed in on that object on the very top of the volcano, and I started looking at it different views. And really, when you look at it, the view on my video that I've got on my channel, if you look at it from the proper angle, it's obviously not a creature popping up out of the snow. It's not a rock. It's definitely not natural. To me, it looks like a perfectly round portal or entranceway or vent, and it's got a kind of a half dome, kind of grayish yet reflective surface, kind of half covering it. And if you look at it from the proper angle, you can see its shadow is perfect. You can see the wall of the depression in the snow perfectly. You just got to get the sun behind you, so you're looking down at it and kind of tilt it. And once you get that proper angle, then it's pretty obvious that it's some kind of opening, some kind of vent. That's the best way I can describe it. It looks like a typical vent that you would see coming out for airflow out from an underground structure.
Absolutely. Well, I might not agree with how you perceive it, or other people might agree with the way other people have their own views on it. Some people say it could be a weapon, a portal, a creature, but there is a pareidolia effect that some people might lay blame on what everybody's experiencing with this anomaly, or these two anomalies in the same region. But the whole fact of the matter is, like you said, it doesn't look natural. It doesn't look natural at all.
Right.
Anything more you want to add quickly before I get to other calls that you want to add to this subject, or anything you wanted to talk about tonight? Go ahead.
Well, I just might want to spend a little. I know you don't have much time, but I want to throw out just a little bit of information, some more information about, and clarify what I said on Monday when I called in. When I was in the Army, I met an individual that was involved with remote viewing, and he shared with me way back then some of the some of the things that he had seen. He had viewed the moon, dark side of the moon. He told me that there were operational on the moon. He didn't know, who was operating them, but he saw them through the remote viewing. He also went to the bottom of the ocean and viewed structures underneath the ocean. Now, I asked him about this remote viewing thing, and he basically said that it is nothing special. Anybody can do it. You don't have to have any kind of special powers. In fact, all it is a hypnotic induction. The facilitator hands the guy an envelope, and inside the envelope there's a place and coordinates and a date. And they keep the envelope closed, put the envelope on the table, and the facilitator induces a hypnotic state and then has the individual basically view and find those coordinates, that place, that time, and tell him what he sees. And now, I went to the London College of Clinical Hypnosis back in 1998, and I spent a year there, and I became a clinical hypnotherapist. Now, I didn't do it to help anybody. I did it so that I could teach myself how to remote view. Now, what I found out is I couldn't do it because I didn't have a facilitator coming up with something that I didn't know about and handing me an envelope that I couldn't see what was in it. It's just an all very interesting thing. And what I have found though is that, and I want to clarify this about when I said that the UFOs or the reverse engineered vehicles that the military has on this planet, I said they were from this planet. Now, I have an idea that that is true, but I also want to clarify this. From what I see and from what I've experienced, it seems that very long time ago, our ancestors basically were inhabiting other planets and possibly other moons within the solar system. And if you look at any description of an alien, they got 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes, 2 ears, and usually a mouth, right? Which tells me we are basically derived from them. Either their DNA was mixed in with Homo sapien beings on this planet and we were created. I mean, it's pretty obvious that we're out of place on this planet. But that means that what I'm saying is that in this solar system, we are related to whatever beings, and I think there's several types, just like there's Chinese and there's American Indian, and there's different races. There's different races of actual physical beings that have been in the solar system. I kind of think I know where you're going, Hypnotech, is basically you're saying that all life throughout the universe, we all have something in common. It doesn't mean we have to populate other star systems, but it's all a one kind of natural system of if there's going to be life, well, we're all going to be similar in our ways. And what you're saying is what I think you're going on last week is that the aliens aren't really aliens. They're basically long lost civilizations and, relatives of humans that existed long ago right here on planet Earth. Like you said, this Earth's 5 billion years old, and there's a lot of history behind it in regards to civilizations that we're not aware of. And some of this alien stuff, they're not aliens at all. They're basically our ancient ancestors. And yeah, it makes total sense. It's really it's a great theory in my opinion. Some people call them the Homo relatives, or what could we call our ancient ancestor alien race if this is the true fact? We're even going to be doing something about how old are these pyramids? Are they really to 6,000 years old, 25,000 years old, or maybe even a lot younger? We got some interesting evidence coming up on that here real soon. All right, we got more callers. I want to get to as many as we can. Let's bring them in. Let's go to area code 817. You made it to the show. How you doing tonight? No sound. Area code 5
63. We've got a few minutes left. You there? Hello?
Hello?
Hi there. How you doing tonight? Welcome to the show.
Oh, fine. Fine, thank you. I tried calling in about a week and a half ago, and you said 563, and for some reason I was on another phone and you couldn't hear me. You said lost in space, I remember. But I'll be brief. I just had 2 quick stories, and if I have time, about 3 questions to ask you, I can call back some other time. I live in Davenport, Iowa, and I didn't think of this till recently. And let's
get to your questions first. Let's get to your 3 questions, and then let's get to one of your stories. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. What do you want to hear for the questions you said? Or
yeah, let's get to
the
quick questions.
I would say, huh?
Let's get some questions first.
Okay, I was wondering if you've heard besides Area 51, and I had it on my other phone, but it didn't transfer over when I had to get a different phone. It was and I've looked it up and can't find it again on YouTube. Confessions of ex-FBI agent. It was about another base called Ducey. I believe it was in New Mexico, and it was pretty scary video if you can find it. It said like one floor, section was the government, and the other section was aliens, and of course they both worked together. But it was just horrible the way it was described. They interbreed like animals with people, so like you'll see maybe a human head with a partial animal body or this or that. And I guess these creatures, humans, whatever, they keep them like...
Okay. Hold on a second. Sorry about that, but I think that's a big statement, not quite a question. I'm just, Dulce is the new maybe Area 51, but I got a caller calling in, and I don't know why he's calling on my landline, but I'm going to bring him in right now just because he wants to get on the phone. So we got I guess F1. He's calling me while I'm doing my radio show, which could be a little hectic while I'm live. F1, you there? All right, no, yeah. F1. You're going to have to call back, F1. F1, don't call me live while I'm live. Just call me on the radio show. I'll get you on the radio show. 918, you made it to the show. How you doing tonight?
Doing good. How are you tonight?
Oh, it was a little hectic radio show tonight. Sometimes it goes smooth. Sometimes it gets a little hectic. But, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I got a quick little story. It happened about a week before this past Thanksgiving. My wife's dryer broke down, so we had to go into town to the laundromat. Take the laundry inside. I go outside, smoke a cigarette, I lean up against the car. This UFO flies over me. This is a V-shaped thing, copper in color, 3 dim lights. Like when your light's on a dimmer switch and you turn it down real low, kind of a brownish color almost, but not quite. Looked like that. Couldn't see through it. Flew over my head, doing 90 miles an hour, maybe 100. Went so fast, had my phone in my hand, didn't have time to switch it over to the camera. Couldn't get a picture or anything. Don't know what it was. Blew me out of the water.
100 to 90 miles an hour. You question yourself after you see a UFO. What did your brain process of what you witnessed?
My first thought was, oh, look, there's a flock of geese. Because, like I said, it's around Thanksgiving time. I was seeing geese fly by quite a bit. But my brain instantly was like, that's not geese. About that many, it's over my head already. Like I said, it's flying fast and clear as day UFO. Flew over my head, disappeared off on the other side of the horizon, went from north to south. Saw it for maybe 3 seconds altogether. And the rest of this time, for 5 months now, what the hell is it that I saw? Backwards engineering, alien technology. But I just had to call somebody and talk to them about it.
Well, you know what, man? Thank you so much. That's, you told a great story. It's quick. That's cool. But you said it from a beginning, middle, and end, and it's clear. It's clear and well spoken. We heard your story. That's important. So appreciate that calling. I don't know what you saw, but I got a feeling it was extraterrestrial involvement one way or the other. Could have been a TR3B. Look that up. Look it up on our Third Phase of Moon. Just punch in TR3B in our search when you get to our channel. And there's a lot of sightings out there of TR3Bs. See if any of those videos, these sightings, look similar to what you witnessed. Wow, a call, Matt. Thanks so much. Okay, we're going to bring in F1. F1, you can't call me while I'm doing a live show. I'll get to you. How you doing tonight?
Oh, sorry, Daddy. It's just a couple things I wanted to say real quick. And I'll say it from the beginning, middle, and end. I usually am always led to something, so here we go. Kind of led to a song by a English songwriter, and his name was Drake. It refers to the pink moon. It's kind of a cryptic song. He was revered as being kind of a super intellectual guy by many, many established professional musicians back in the day. I looked it up on NASA because it just seemed something so, there's something to it that got my attention. It was like a message. And sure enough, on April 11th, which just happens to be 411, which is everyone universally known, at least in the United States, and as information, NASA has it listed a pink moon on April 11th. And I just thought that was kind of interesting that NASA would catalog it. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Okay, F1, but I don't think that's breaking news. You know, I appreciate the call. But, yep, I don't know about that correlation. You just never know, though. You never know. And anybody find that interesting? Let's see, pink moon on 4/11. They like blood moons. They like that. Let's see. I guess people's birthdays on April 12th, and it'll be the red by then. All right. Well, that's what some people have to say about that. But what I got to say is there's some good calls tonight. There were some good calls, and it's tricky sometimes when you're coming on live radio show. And Third Phase Moon, we do it live right here. And it's kind of like a wave, surfing a wave. It goes up and down, and sometimes it gets pretty good. And you ride that wave, and the flow gets just right. And there are some good callers tonight. Join me this Monday coming up. We're going to be doing it again this Monday at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. if you're on the East Coast. And make sure you stay tuned. Third Phase of Moon on a daily basis for more updates. Blake Cousins. Keep your eyes on the skies, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Actually, stick around. We got more callers. Hold on. We got a few more minutes. Hang on, everybody. You thought it was just over. No? Let's go to area code 713. You made it to the show. Thanks for waiting.
Hey, Blake. How you doing?
Oh, doing good. You got something you want to share tonight?
I sure do. I was coming home from work, and it was about 6 o'clock, 6:30. And so I go to my backyard to have a smoke, like I usually do. And overhead in my backyard, I saw this orange sphere. The sphere was actually an object. It was illuminated orange. And so it passes over my head about 200 feet and goes over my tree line. And then the thing, you can actually see it. Once it passed, you can see the propulsion like a ring in the bag. But then it turns around. And to my amazement, I'm saying, okay, what does it do and turn around? And all of a sudden, I live my Air Force base. And so all of a sudden, I see a fighter jet following it. And the fighter jet's cruising maybe 500 feet. It was very low. But as soon as that sphere turned around, it was for that fighter jet. And so immediately what happened at that point, the fighter jet started to lose power and stall. And then so it turned away, I guess. And then it picked power up and went away. But the object, once it turned around, it started to ascend rapidly. And I tell you what, I don't know what it was, but it was certainly an experience I'll never forget. It was very close proximity from me.
Wow. So you're saying that there was an aircraft in pursuit of this unidentified object, and then it was kind of making it rendered it incapable of flight there for a while. Let me get this straight.
Yeah, that was my observation. And it lost, the fighter jet lost power, I guess, and then it turned right. The craft, the UFO was towards the left, center left. The fighter jet was to the right, and it pulled to the right, and then started gaining speed, I guess, or went out of that stall. So I don't know what to make of it, whether, the UFO was a friendly or was military or was it actually a UFO. I can't say.
Wow. Let me ask you this. How close in proximity did the jet get to the unidentified object before it started to basically have issues with its flight navigation systems?
Well, it was right. It was following it right behind, but I would, I don't know, estimate maybe 1,000 feet apart. That's
yeah. Wow. Well, let me get the exact location, when and where would be helpful. Thank you.
That was in 2013, out in the out by the NASA area, Houston, Texas.
So, was there anything about that? How did this aircraft recover? This jet fighter? Did it seem like it was going to get back home safely? What about the pilot?
Well, when it immediately turned right, like almost like evading or avoiding whatever it was that made it stall, and it just pulled to the right, and then you could hear the engines or the afterburners, I guess, turning back on or gaining altitude. But it didn't follow it. The thing is, it just stopped following it. It turned to the right immediately. So you could actually hear the...
Yeah. So it really seems like...
stall.
The stall. Wow. This is something that this pilot seemed like he was ordered on, that he was notifying command center, like, I'm in hot pursuit of this thing. And he was ordered to... I wonder what his thoughts were after he just basically nearly lost the aircraft that he was flying.
Right.
And how does that get out to the military? Like, wow, you chase these things, you might not be wanting to do that kind of stuff.
Well, I did some research on these, orange orbs and UFOs and things like that. And I read the only orange orbs that were, the size of a van, I guess you could say the size of it. But the ones that were found years ago was in a nuclear base. I can't remember where it was. Where was it, in England? A U.S. base there. But these orange orbs appeared and did something to the nuclear missiles and deactivated it, I guess, or something like that. So, but it was interesting. I mean, to see it, it wasn't, see-through. It was a sphere. It was, an object. Just can't explain it. And
well,
then
you know what? We're out of time, sir. But you can call back anytime, because what you just shared is what we'd like to hear. That kind of really great encounter that's what we all want. We want a good story. And it sounded like we would have all liked to witness what you just explained to us right here at Third Phase Moon. Everybody, it was a record night tonight. The most online listeners live tonight. So that was good to reach that threshold. Thanks for joining me tonight. Everybody have a safe weekend. Have a good time. We'll see you again on Monday. Blake Cousins.